Finding out within like 72 hours that you're pregnant, miscarrying, and that my fallopian tube had burst, this was a shock to me, and I didn't really know exactly what was going on. I had my cycle as I normally would, and 2 days later I started bleeding again. After a month of bleeding, I knew that couldn't be good. So my mom and my fiance asked me to take a pregnancy test. Having been pregnant before, I didn't think I was pregnant because I didn't have any symptoms. But I took a test, it was positive. So I instantly knew something was wrong. A few hours after the ultrasound, I started having pain in my stomach. It just kept getting worse and worse. So my mom begged me to call AdventHealth and see if I needed to go into the hospital. But in my head, I was not going to the ER because of COVID. Because of my family and my son, I wanted to protect them.
So the night I received a call from Francesca, she was obviously in distress. She was not able to talk to me in complete sentences. She was having to breathe through her pain. I just reassured her that it was important to be seen, that I thought it was an emergency, that I thought she might have an ectopic pregnancy based on what she was telling me.
So after I talked to Dr. Valverde and I made the decision that I was going to go to the ER, my parents were on their way over to watch my son for me. The level of pain that I was at was so high, I started to think, okay, maybe something is very wrong. And I wrote a note to my mom and my son because I didn't know if I was going to come back.
When I first arrived to the ER and saw Francesca, I was meeting her for the first time. So I knew that it would be overwhelming to her to find out all of a sudden she was going to need emergent surgery, potential blood transfusion, and she was going to have all that done from me, who she didn't know. I was able to immediately identify the ectopic and remove her tube. I did have to remove the tube in this case because it had ruptured and was bleeding, but it went without complications, and honestly the surgery went well.
Thankfully, Dr. Valverde was able to save my ovary. When I have my children in the future, I will be delivering here, of course, at AdventHealth. Dr. Valverde has to be the one delivering them. I'm really attached to her now, and she's just like my superhero, because not only did Dr. Valverde save my life, you guys inspired me to start studying to be a doula. So hopefully one day I'll be working alongside some of my favorite doctors.